I'm so glad you're here. I'm Paige. Thanks for watching the replay if that is what you were doing. I appreciate that so much. Today's video is going to be all about the garden. I love working in the garden. This doesn't have anything to do with my business at all, but it's something that I spend a ton of time doing, and I thought I would wear my hat dressed up for the occasion. I feel like, well, I feel like I've gotten this brim so wet that it's like, it's wonky. I guess I should really curl it. Oh well, not now, right? Now we're supposed to be talking about the garden. Oh my gosh, what can I say about the garden? Did you see my post on my community tabs? Community tab or community board? So if you're on your computer or on a phone, I think both, and you look at my channel, not your subscription feed or your home feed on your YouTube, but going to my channel, at the top there's a whole bunch of tabs, and one of them is a community tab. Although I think my post might end up in your feed on YouTube if you are subscribed to me. So subscribe. Sorry. So the community tab, today I put up a picture of my vegetables that I'm hardening off. Hey, pal. Am I going to see you this weekend? I am, right? Very excited. I'm super excited about this weekend. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, on the community tab, you'll see that I'm hardening off my veggies. The veggies specifically that I'm hardening off are my summer veggies. But tomorrow morning, there will be, I'm going to upload a video that I already have edited about how I make the soil blocks that I start my seedlings in. So check that out if you are interested. That'll be up tomorrow morning, probably by 9 or 10. Maybe let's say 10 o'clock. That way I give myself that extra hour. So yeah, so I want to talk to you about my garden and how much I love it, and a little bit of why I love it too. So, which means I'm going to be telling you about my mom. My mom, who I called Mo, and all of my friends called Mo, was an avid gardener. But she was very ornamental. She didn't grow food, she grew beauty, and she was great at it. It was her passion for sure. She was passionate about working in her yard and taking photographs of the things she grew in her yard. She was so cute. So when I bought my house about 20 years ago, she helped me turn my yard into beautiful gardens. And we spent every weekend together, weeknights in the growing season, just playing in my yard, going to nurseries and buying all of the beautiful things. She spent more money than she should have on plants. She just loved them so much. So yeah, it's what we did together. It is definitely what we did together. And I didn't realize how much we did that, like how much it was what we did together until she passed away. But so she really taught me a lot. Just in general, like everything that I know about soil health and how to transplant, how to deal with root bound plant. I mean, she taught me everything. But then YouTube also helps. I have to say that. So mom passed away in 2014, in December of 2014, and that spring after, okay, this is so sad, but I could not step foot in a nursery or my backyard without losing it. Like, couldn't do it. It was so weird. I didn't expect this reaction at all. Grief hits you, and when it hits you, you don't know how it's going to hit you. And so for a couple of years, I did zero gardening. And my gardens in my yard were pretty full and pretty big and needed maintenance, and so it got out of hand. So about 2 years, maybe 3 years after she passed away, my brother came over, and we rented a bobcat, and he leveled my gardens, which sounds horrible, but I needed it because the stress of not taking care of the garden, like it's not only was I sad, but then I was stressed out. Every time I looked at it, it was just too much. So, yeah. So my yard went back to a blank canvas, and I didn't garden for like 3 or 4 years, 4 years, maybe more, right? 2014. He came out probably 2016, 17. Yeah, so I altogether about 5 years. Um, which again, like I said, grief hits you. You don't know how you're going to react. It's just what happened. But 3 years ago, right? Yeah, about 3 years ago, I decided I wanted to do a little bit. And I think the reason why it happened, well, I started doing a little just around my deck, right? Just bushes, some flowers, done. And I was never really into annuals. My mom and I always bought perennials because she was the flower lady. Um, so 3 years ago, we had a sinkhole in my backyard. Hello, my friend. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining. I'm wearing my farmer hat because today is my garden story. So I dressed up for it. Yeah, so 3 years ago, uh, my house used to have a septic tank back in the olden days, and I guess it wasn't removed properly, and we had a sinkhole. So Paul Miller, was I in Norway when that happened? No, it was the year before Norway. So anyway, sorry. So he filled it in with Lovely's dirt, and it was like this big space on the corner of my deck, or at the corner of my deck. And I thought, it's already tilled. Maybe I'll just make that into a little garden. And so I did. I had that little space. And then we got chickens, and Miller built this incredible, hey, Marianne. He built this incredible pen for the chickens, and of course was like, maybe we should put some raised beds around the chickens. And here we are now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 raised beds. I have several in-ground beds. When I say I wish I really were Paige the farmer, I'm not kidding. It's so much fun. My back sometimes doesn't love it. Hi, Mr. Dingle Kringle. Do I get to see him this weekend too? Yay. uh, so yeah. The difference between my gardening now and when my mom was alive and when she and I were doing it together, uh, when she and I did it, everything was ornamental. Everything was flowers and all of that. I'm going at it a little bit differently. I'm growing food, and I'm totally no. When I say that, I'm still doing my flowers. Don't get me wrong, but when I used to go shopping with my mom for flowers, we would spend $6, $10, $12, $15 on one single plant. And now I'm starting everything from seed. It's totally different. I wish my mom was here because she would love that I'm doing this. She would love that I'm like canning and fermenting and drying all of my food. She would think it was the coolest thing. She would think it was cool that I had chickens too. But yeah, so I definitely the gardening bug may have left me for a short period of time while I was grieving my mom, or grieving the loss of my mom. But it's back with a vengeance. This year already, I planted 3 new apple trees. Let's see. I love that you were able to share that story and that your garden brings you joy again. Thanks, Tina. I didn't expect the grief, right? I didn't expect the grief to kill gardening for me. And then I didn't expect my gardening 2.0 to be so very different from what I was doing before. And I mean, it's all learning, right? I'm just having the best time with it. So yeah, I planted 3 apple trees. I'm very excited about them. I won't have apples for a while, but that's okay because my fig tree is going to explode with figs this year. So I'll just eat all the figs. Also, I planted 32 new strawberry plants this year, and I probably already had another 30. So I think I'm going to be overrun with strawberries, which is fine because I'll be making some jam. But also, I want to dehydrate some of the strawberries. So it's kind of like the food garden versus the pretty garden. You know, the pretty garden was great because I would cut flowers and bring them to church, or I would cut flowers and bring them to a friend's house. So I still do want to have cut flowers for the pretty. You know, I want to grow the food and I want it to be utilitarian, but I still want it to be beautiful. Hands down, I still want it to be beautiful. But with this new approach to my garden, it's so cool. Like, I have crafty things to do with the things I'm growing, which, I mean, how cool is that? Your crafty pals, right? Dehydrate strawberries and granola. Yes. Don't you think? Oh my gosh, just pop them in my mouth. I was watching here on YouTube, there's a lady, I forget what her name is. Her channel is the Purposeful Pantry, and she's all about dehydrating and saving food, preserving food for a long time. She's the one who I found out about water glassing eggs, which is storing eggs in, hello from Montana, right? Yes, Montana. Hello, hello. Storing um, eggs in a water and pickling lime solution will keep the eggs for like up to 18 months without refrigeration. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But yeah, Purposeful Pantry, I'm sorry, she's the one that I have been watching and learning a lot about dehydrating. So it's super exciting. So yeah, the garden is coming inside. I think it was last year or the year before, I think it actually may have been Sue or Natalie, my friend Natalie, who either last year or the year before introduced me to yard sauce, which I had never thought of, but it was just roasting. For me, anyway, I feel like everyone makes their own yard sauce, like they just make it their own. For me, it is tomato based, but then I throw eggplant, peppers, whatever I have that's harvested that needs to get used up. I just roast it all and then put it in the blender and make it into a sauce and freeze that. It's such a great way to use up your miscellaneous veggies. I was just introduced to that. So yeah, I'm having a fun time with it. Like I said in the beginning, yard sauce is the best. It's the best. I didn't waste a single vegetable last year because of yard sauce. Not one. Like, what? It was amazing. So yeah, I think it was yuzu. Yes, it's so good. And I have, I think, 60, well, I don't know if I have 60. I planted 60, I want to say garlic seeds, seed garlic out in the yard. So hopefully my yard sauce will have my own garlic this year. I have onions in the yard too. Anyway, it's very exciting. Obviously, if you can't tell, it makes me super excited. Are you guys gardening? Are you growing things? Are you a flower grower? Are you beauty? Are you utilitarian? Are you food? What's your garden philosophy? I don't know if I have a garden philosophy yet, but I guess my philosophy is dirty fingernails are good for my heart. What is this? Oh, sorry, lady. Okay, so my garden, you can see it. Once a month well, I should say once a month is my plan and my goal. I haven't hit it. I did a garden journal in January and I did a garden journal in April. I missed February and March. I don't know why, but I did. So you can see a little bit in January, which isn't much of my garden. It's more me prepping for my garden. But April, so I have a garden journal from April that's up. My May one will come up soon. Bob says survival of the fittest in the garden is his. I totally agree with him. Like my good friend Lori, who is a trained botanist, said the same thing to me. She's like, plants want to grow, throw them all in there. The ones that don't make it, c'est la vie. making a greenhouse? That's so cool. Um, yeah, survival of the fittest is definitely, it makes it easier, right? When I started my veggies this year, I started more than I needed. So that way, when something doesn't survive, I still have more. Like we had 3 days of horrible frost way past the time we should have. And I lost some cabbage and some cauliflower. So I luckily had some that I could replace it with. But I have way too many tomatoes. Like I'm not going to lose any tomatoes. And I have, let's just say I have room for probably 16 plants. But I have, I think, 80 or 72 plants. So local friends are going to be getting tomatoes. Your beds are prepped. Woohoo! It's so exciting. So also tomorrow morning, I am uploading a video to the YouTubes around 10 o'clock. It will not be live. It's pre-recorded. It's how I make my soil blocks for doing my seedlings. So check that out tomorrow. And then my garden journal for the month of, see, I say this, I uploaded it in April, but it wasn't for April. It was for the 2 months before. So I'll do a garden tour, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Next week, when I get back from Maryland on Monday, I will film that. If the weather's not going to cooperate. Do you realize we're going to have 6 days straight of rain? That's not fun. This is garden time. I want to be in the yard. Oh well. So anyway, sorry. Trying to style. Yes. Oh, those bears and those deers. That's rotten, those little buggers. It does take a while to, oh my gosh, what was the word you just used? Establish. Yeah, it takes a while, but once they're established, oh my gosh, they're so lovely. I dug out 2 spirea bushes, I guess last month, and I chopped them into, they were huge, and I chopped them into 5 pieces each, and then I put them in pots. So now I have 10 spirea bushes. Do you guys need spirea bushes? Because I can't put 10 of them in my yard. I cannot put 10 bushes in my yard. Sue's not going to Maryland, but I'm going to Maryland. I'm so excited. So excited. And I'm not driving. You do? All right, Tina, I'm coming over with some bushes for you. It'll only take me how many hours to drive to you? All right, I'm taking this hat off. I'm inside. Paige the farmer. Yeah, so I was outside today. I played hooky from work. No, I didn't. I went to work and I came home early. Actually, I watched Sue and Rachel go live, and then I did a couple more chores, and then I was like, I'm going home. And so I did. And I spent the last, I don't know, 5 hours outside. All right, I'm rambling now about gardening because can you see I could just sit here and talk about it? So video tomorrow, go check out my community tab. You can see a picture of my my seedlings that I'm hardening off. Tina, I read your comment about it looking like a nursery, and you're not kidding. There's way too many plants in my basement right now. So like I said, you guys just have to drive here and you can have all the plants. Thank you for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. What's on the agenda tomorrow? I got my agenda kind of mixed up. I wish I were Paige the Farmer. All right, here's my list. This is my list of every day in the month of May and what I plan to talk about. I have down tomorrow talking about Maryland sheep and wool, but that's not true, right? Because tomorrow I'm driving down there. It's the day after that's sheep and wool. So tomorrow might just be a chatty. We are going to go to Fredericks, Maryland, and we are going to go out to dinner. So maybe I'll just, pop in and talk about that. And then Saturday evening after the sheep show will be a recap. Framer versus farmer. It's like an MMA match. The farmer will totally beat up the framer. So then on Sunday when I get home from Maryland, I will pick you up. when I get home on Sunday, I thought my Sunday lives for this month would be, well, this month, just for May. I'm not going live every day after May, just for May. I thought we could do like Q&As. I don't know how that'll work because you guys have to be on here with questions. And that means you would have had to have watched all of my videos before Sunday. So maybe not. I don't know. But I do have a plan. Okay. So that's it. That was gardening. It's super fun. And I'll see you guys. I guess I'll see you tomorrow since I'm going live every day in the month of May. Have a good night, my friends. I hope you get some crafting and snitching. Not snitching. Don't snitch. Stitching time in. You can ask for questions ahead of time. Oh, I should do that, shouldn't I? Oh, in the community tab. See, this is why, Tina. This is why. Good night, pals. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.